Joining me now in the studio is Vincent J. Russo from the Russo Law Group with another segment of In the Legal Know. And we started talking about funding IRAs for your retirement last week. We are going to pick up where we left off. Vincent, welcome.
Well, it's great to be here. It's so cold outside.
It is.
So it's nice and warm in here.
Nice and warm in the studio.
Yeah.
So let's pick it up. We talked about the different types of IRAs last week. Now let's talk about the power of earning from an IRA.
Sure. So as we discussed the last time, retirement comes quickly as you age. And everyone needs to be planning for retirement. And IRAs are a terrific vehicle. They're easy, they're accessible as a way of putting away money today for the future. And you can't bank on living off a Social Security check.
Right.
And so there are different types of IRAs, traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs. And we talked about funding those IRAs, $6,000 a year or the lesser of your earnings. So hopefully someone who's employed is thinking about how to put their money away.
If you can, try to take out the maximum every year or put it away.
That's right.
Okay.
So it would be nice to see an example of how that would work. And so if we look at someone who's age 30, and if they start to put away $6,000 a year, and let's assume a return of 6%, which is a reasonable return in the stock market over time. And let's say that 30-year-old retires at 67, and they're paying taxes every year at 25%, but when they retire, they'll be in a lower tax bracket. So let's make it 15%. And we know there's inflation, so we're going to factor that in. So a lot of factors here. But this example is trying to show that if you're 30 years old and start to put that money away every year, what's that going to look like when you retire at age 67.
Okay.
All right. So I know people are retiring a little later in their lives. So I picked 67 as an example. So if you look at this chart, the balance at age 67, if you were putting $6,000 in a year, grows to $763,000. If you were to take the $6,000, pay the income tax, and put that in a bank account and invest it, you would have only brought that amount up to $410,000. So you could see the power of deferring tax until you reach retirement years. So this is a traditional IRA example. So let's say now at 67, you start to pull the money out, and you're going to pay tax when the money comes out. So we'll factor that in. And so we're looking at the difference between having $649,000 saved for retirement versus $410,000. So just a tremendous value in putting money in now and deferring the tax.
When do you pay the tax?
You pay the tax, if it's a traditional IRA, you're going to pay the tax as and when you take it out. And you're going to pay at ordinary income tax rates. So if someone's in a traditional IRA, they don't pay tax on the money they put in the account, so it's tax deferred. You get a tax deduction in effect on your income tax return.
For a traditional.
Right, and then when you pull it out, you'll pay the income tax.
Okay. Okay. So examples on when can I take that money out?
Yeah, so that's an important question. Timing is critical in how these tax rules will work.
Okay.
So the IRS basically forces you to take money out when you reach 72. So when we get to 72, we're going to have to take that money out, and there's an IRS table that says you're going to have to take it out at a certain rate. The good news is it's based on joint lives. So basically the first year you're going to pull out less than 4%. From that account, but it's going to grow as you get older. So traditional IRA, you mandated retirement benefits come out. They're called required minimum distributions. Now let's say you're younger than 72 and you want to tap that IRA account. No problem unless you're under 59 and a half. If you're under 59 and a half, then they're going to penalize you for taking it out too early.
Okay. What are we looking at right now?
So now we're looking at
penalties.
We're
Okay.
going to get to the exceptions. So the IRS says, okay, we're going to penalize you when you take money out before 59 and a half.
But they can't just say 59.
No.
It has to be 59 and a half. Okay, whatever. Make it more difficult. But go ahead.
And so there are sometimes reasons why people need to take it out. And do you really want to penalize them? Now, when you take that money out early, it's called an early withdrawal. It's subject to income tax, so you're going to pay the tax no matter what. Now they want to hit you with a 10% penalty on top of it. We don't want that to happen. So what are the exceptions here? The first exception would be that you're 59 and a half or older, so there's no penalty. All right, that's the easy one. The next one is that you are taking money out and you're permanently disabled. So you need the money to live on. You may have Social Security disability benefits, but you need additional monies. So no penalty there. If you're a beneficiary of an IRA after the death of the IRA owner, then there's no penalty for taking it out at a younger age. And the IRS is going to tell you how much you must take out as a beneficiary. That's another, you'll have me back on that one.
Okay.
All right. Now, for homeowners, first-time homeowners, you can pull out $10,000 to use as a payment to purchase a home or to rebuild or make improvements on your home.
Without a penalty?
Yes. So,
Wow.
building a home or rebuilding or buying. And then this fifth one is if you decide to take it out and you're going to do it in a series of substantially equal amounts, then they say, okay, in effect, you're going to take it out the way we want you to, but you're doing it sooner, we're not going to penalize you.
You know, I heard something this morning on the radio. About 27% of people are not saving for retirement. They have nothing saved. That number surprised me.
Right.
So this is just the beginning of what we are going to be talking about when it comes to retirement. But, you know, you can sum this up. You get the last word on how important it is to save for your retirement.
Well, that example I gave you would give that person a monthly payment in retirement of $3,000, which would be added to their Social Security check, which would allow that person to survive, live, and try to have the quality of life they want. If that's your goal, you got to put away money now. Rule of thumb, 10% of your earnings. If you could push that into retirement accounts, that would be a great start.
Okay, wonderful information, as always. So thank you so much. I think we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
Okay.